So, timestamps exist in case you just want to skip forward. Also, this video, for anyone curious, is going to be basically a silent upload, which means basically there'll be no notifications for this video, considering when this video came out, by the way. But otherwise, just here to show you both the stats and the current record. It's round 2, so expect it to be at least a little more competitive. I've seen trainers with some amount of RNG where, I mean, you just happen to get some good RNG, whether it's your races or your lobbies. So, yeah, without further ado, we'll head in a hot moment here. But if I can show just a little bit more, don't need to show the Simply Rudolph. It's pretty self-explanatory. But here, again, trying to inherit and pass on Ignited Spirit Power in a lot of my runs. In fact, there's another Ignited Spirit Power here, so really just trying to get that, even though it's not the most required. Obviously, if you don't hit the stat lines, yeah, bad things can happen. But otherwise, as we get round 2 started here, again, as always, going to go through the first entry for the first day of the new round, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, yeah, it's Skull Chip's going to be carrying me the whole time. So, not really much else to say here. It is what it's going to be, and I'll still commentate, because if nothing else, hey, practicing to commentate would be nice. But otherwise, by now we should all kind of know the deal. I expect to see more Kitasan Blacks, I expect to see more Gold Chips, and so on and so forth. And if someone uses their Oshi, then they can just use their Oshi Musume. I mean, I look at me doing Gold Chip on dirt in sprints, and I'll continue to do so until, well, I don't know, actually, because we're waiting. I'm waiting for the summer, and if you saw my carrot count earlier, it's because I was saving for the summer. Yeah, I know, dog. I'm saving for the summer. This time, though, this video should definitely be a stream-like video, because I need to make sure that, if for no other reason than it's hard for me to kind of edit Musume videos. Their length, even though the length is similar to what I've had in this on this channel, yeah, weird things have happened. Also, what is this composition? It's 2 fronts, right? Yeah, it is 2 fronts. That would make no sense otherwise. And yeah, that can survive. Yeah, that can definitely survive. Interestingly, no go home specialist there, but hey, it's Naita Taishin, and yeah, this is a bit more of what I expected in this round. So, without further ado, not really gonna take much time to look. I mean, I don't even need to look at the skills too much. It should be relatively self-explanatory, and obviously having long S helps a lot more. I feel in long, if nothing else I feel. But I think, again, anyone watching this video at this point would realize how important long S aptitude is. Again, of course, without sacrificing your stats, don't sacrifice 200 speed for long S aptitude. You still need the baseline 1200 speed. And in the case of this long CM, as everyone is, who, if you didn't know, is now finding out, yeah, 1200 stamina, minimum 450 guts, but really 600 guts, I feel. So, without further ado, let's get this race started, and let's get a move on. So yeah, not really much else to say aside from me keeping an eye on whether anyone gets rushed, and if anyone procs and who procs their recovery skills. But otherwise, just to give some background into the training, yes, for Biwa and really for all of my Musume going on, I am trying to basically just push Ignited Spirit Power. Am I getting the name right? Ignited Spirit Power, because it's a free XL that can just proc well on the final leg, and I don't think it ever has a bad proc, because it's literally a very general final leg on speed, acceleration skill. So, shrug, right? But I think Biwa dropped to 5th for a moment, so she probably just lost her unique. I guess we'll find out when the time comes. But otherwise, interesting to see certain Musume in this CM with Track Blazer. Goes to show how dedicated more than a few trainers are trying to train their Oshi or their pick for a CM. Now, obviously, it's not the best. I'll tell you right now, just objectively speaking, 1200 speed, 1200 stamina, 1200 power, and a whole bunch of other stuff. That would be obviously UG, but I don't think I've seen a UG yet. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a UG Musume yet, but I know they exist, and they don't have to have those 3 stats at 1200. It could be just a whole host of other stats, or just all stats in general being very high, like 800, 900, 1000 high. So as we get Swinging Maestros from Naita Taishin, a front run, I think that was Valentine Bourbon. I think Gold Chip also procs, so we hope, but she's way too far in the back to catch up. So this is going to be really interesting to see. We did proc 2 rare recovery skills or rare velocity skills as Gold Chip, so she's going to push forward as we reach the final leg here, but Festive Miracle, a bit too early, but might as well serve as an anchors away, and let's see who else does. So yeah, so Gold Chip is really getting a lot of velocity here, but if she doesn't speed up around this final leg and doesn't proc straight away spurt, she does Encroaching Shadow as well, so that's already going to be... I'm already noting, again, Valentine's Bourbon and the Narita Taishin both procced pretty good skills throughout the race, so it's all up to whoever reaches there. I think Biway and Simply Rudolph, even if they proc stamina recovery skills, didn't really get much going on as we approach the final leg here. So, as we reach and race towards the finish, yeah, this is going to be a one front runner or a one end closer victory. Ignited Spirit Power happening way too late. Nemesis procuring at this time means, hey, it's time to run forward. And every other velocity skill needs to proc now so that you can get it for the rest of this race. And obviously Long S procking as well at a good time would be nice. But yeah, again, as expected, the Naruto Taishin, Valentine's Bourbon falling too far behind. Sakura Chiono can hold it, but you know, against this end closer at this distance, it was close, but I promise you, Naruto Taishin was going to pull forward ahead there. Wasn't looking at the Sakura Chiono and where she was proccing her skills, but obviously things happened there in a very certain way. Also, I don't know if we ever procced Go Home Specialist on Gold Chip, so that would have certainly hurt as well. Again, a whole host of other things that I didn't see could have happened as well. Again, the race here has a very long downhill, so if I can actually bring that up as we're waiting for the loading screen here. Type, because I'm using OBS certain OBS settings. Never mind, I'm going absolutely insane. But yeah, there's a very early downhill, about 1,000 meters in, and the downhill at the end. Yeah, sure, but I think you can still proc downhill acceleration. So as we go against the Seiyun Sky here, gonna take a look at everyone, but yeah, that looks that's pretty reasonable. This seems like Nakayama race course, but I mean, just looking at the other skills, it all works. So without further ado, not really much else to see here. A groundwork on late Narita Brian. Mayano Top Gun, no stopping me, question mark. With both General Swinging Maestro, Breath of Fresh Air for straights and corners. Straightaway Spurt as well. No stopping me, Agnes Tachyon. Yep, that looks right. Narita Taishin. I'm seeing the lack of long S, but it doesn't really matter because with the stamina RNG that exists in this long CM, or just long race in general, again, the volatility, it's very volatile. The volatile nature of long CMs is in the stamina and how that functions. Again, not everything can be told by skills, but skills are a good indicator in terms of where skills proc. So without further ado, let's get this race started. So as we start here, late start can mean a difference. Russian Gale immediately at the beginning there means a very, very pulled forward Gold Chip along with Uma Stan. But since we can't see what the normal skills that all other Musume are proccing until we get the ability to see that, and you'll know later on in the future if and when Global gets that, then yeah, we just have to guess based on what we see. Common collected by Simply Rudolph going to be the bare minimum, but it's not going to be enough unless she procs the second one too. That's why my Simply Rudolph has 2 rare gold recovery skills, because I know she's lacking the stats pretty much, so you need something else on top. Bare minimum run rare gold recovery skill, or 3 white skills too, but hey, sleeping line early on, so Naruto Taishin can survive. Standing by, but I really need at least a rare gold recovery. I realize if you didn't see my Gold Chip's skills, as we do proc Go Home Specialist here, she does have a few white skills as well, so there's Passing Pro. Again, they're not the best white recovery skills, but you gotta work with what you've got, right? As someone who's a completely free-to-play trainer in Uma Musume at all times, yeah, it's you gotta work with what you've got, so shrug. Also, the fact that we are in 5th at the head of our pack means we might not get anchors away if bad things happen. So the fact that this Naruto Brian, who is a late surger by the way, is supposed to be actually pulled forward here, by the time we reach the latter half of the race, will Gold Chip still proc anchors away? I thought that counts as the latter half of the thing. I guess not. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I was about to say. Biwa did stay within 4th and above, so she'll get her unique, which puts her in the running if she procced her unique recoveries. Unfortunately, again, my gold chip is not 6th or below, so she did not get to proc Angers Away. So not really as much of a problem usually, but it can be. Yeah, Radiant Star as well. She's gonna pull ahead for my gold chip. Does that allow me to proc Angers Away? Yes, it should. I forgot the own requirements for my own Oshi Uma Musume. So this is gonna be interesting because I get this. My gold chip gets that velocity moving into this. Now, unfortunately, what happened in previous days might happen here, so we might straightaway spurt right into the back of Simply Rudolph or Biwa Haihide here, which is, again, what happened to me earlier when it is happening. So that gold chip is to go out on the outside. My gold chip is stuck right behind. We get a head-on from Simply Rudolph here, but unless she gets a bit more from this, it's going to be really, really, really tough. Yeah, that straightaway spurt right into the back of Simply Rudolph actually happened twice in the last 2 days. And in fact, happened more than I did getting rushed. In fact, I think it was more than twice. But anyway, as we sit here and see what happens, this is where my Simply Rudolph is supposed to help my gold chip out, because she's supposed to help proc this unique and help with dueling, but it seems like that's not going to be the case here. So as we proc every other thing here, go very late Professor of Curvature there, but again, without another acceleration skill. Yeah, so again, there's the dueling, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Because yeah, it happened it happened as my gold chip lost a bunch of distance straight away, spurting right into the back of Simply Rudolph. So that made me very sad. That was the dueling proc I wanted. Unfortunately, it was not. It did not come. It came after a very unfortunate acceleration boost. It came after a very good acceleration boost at very unfortunate situation. So again, if anyone is new, or just to say it out loud, at least for no one else than myself, yeah, getting blocked loses you more than a few lengths, let's just say. So off we go here. We see there's the Kita-san Black I'm looking for, so that should be Valentine's Bourbon and Kita-san Black by the same trainer. It is. Yeah, I mean, it's just Kita-san Black. Victory Cheer is already going to give you more than enough, unless for some reason you're lacking a lot of recovery skills. And let's see what else exists here. Yeah, we just expect this to see. No rare gold recovery, so Prey on Wit and Hope. And then we see everything else here. And yeah, that's pretty standard. So without further ado, not really much else to see here. Let's just get in and start this race. I'll mention more when the timestamp starts, but for the moment, oh boy. Again, it's round 2 onward. This, again, and that's at the very beginning. Right as the round opens up, so I'm expecting some competition, unless weird things happen during me queuing for races, or just the race itself, as the last race also just, was apparent. Straight away spurt right into the back of 2 pace chasers, or 1 pace chaser, or in the case of my gold chip, more than a few times in the previous 2 days. Straight away spurt into someone's back, but someone else is also blocking her to the left. And it happens that the inner railing does happen to get clogged up like that, so if you get blocked, things happen. If you run out of stamina, things happen. If you don't proc any downhills and you get rushed, stamina problems, and you just cry. My B was gonna fall into 5th, which removes the ability to get the unique. But again, a lot of this is funny enough going to be on Simply Rudolph and Gold Chip working together at some extent, if Gold Chip doesn't just pull forward. So here we're looking at things. I mean, at this point, we can. For long CMs, I really should just start using 2x speed, because again, all I at least am looking for are the skills proccing on the right. More importantly, the gold recovery skills, but any velocity skills are interesting to note. That way you can note them later on, right before the final leg. So, as my gold chip gets left all the way behind here, and I don't think we proc Go Home Specialist, I think my gold chip is out of the running here. So, shrug and pray, because Valentine's Bourbon and Kita-san Black staying out ahead here is going to present more than a few issues, basically. Especially as the other end closers, barring my own gold chip, sneak up ahead. This is quite close for the old end closers to be, so I guess we're going to see if that gold chip running up ahead here is going to catch up. Ignited Spirit Power, a little late for my liking, but I don't think I saw a straightaway spurt for my own gold chip. So it's going to be a stamina battle on top of the skills that proc right around now. including any uniques, because I didn't expect that to happen. That's because the gold ship from behind Simply Rudolph is trying to overtake, and any velocity skills procking right now are going to be what's going to help the remaining Musume in this final spurt. So, progressive curvature best in Japan for the next 6-7 seconds, probably I think even longer. But if nothing bad happens, that gold ship might be able to catch up. Simply Rudolph a little, just leaning on her long S, but I don't think it's gonna provide enough. So yeah. Again, the volatility of long CMs, on top of other things, but I'm pretty sure I didn't see my gold chip proc a go home specialist, which is going to hurt the spurt during the final leg, or delay it, or both, really. So, as we accumulate 3 losses right in the face, for this first entry, I guess the guess is going to be whether or not I even get 1 win at all. So, niceties. As a side note, I have noticed more than a few trainers that are really new to Musume. I mean, like, less than 2 months, probably even 1 month getting into Musume now. Whether you're in the graded or in the open league, it's going to be an uphill battle, because the loyalty in Musume is going to make somewhat of a difference. I see at least 3 fronts, by the way. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. My Biwa is not going to get her unique. That I know for sure. But we'll take a look at our competition just to go through the motions. Yeah, seems right. Yeah, it's Summer Maruzensky. Although the stamina is a bit low, even with the rare gold recovery skill. As someone who's seen 2 rare gold recovery skills on 1000 stamina, I can tell you 2 rare gold recovery skills may still not be enough. I'm shrugging as I say this. Not really much else to mention here. It's a Tamamo Cross, not really much else to say. White and Lightning goes through, White and Lightning goes through. And without further ado, I would have liked to use Swinging Maestro as well, but if you didn't see how I use my support decks, they didn't use Super Creek for this CM, so I'm shrugging it. That's all I really have to say. Aside from Simply Rudolph. And to mention more, so since we're after the timestamp, my Simply Rudolph is the one that used the Super Creek, but the Biwa and my gold ship both did not use Super Creek. They used Team Sirius and Rico, so I'm going with that method through Trailblazer. For those who don't know, as we just kind of explain and sit back and wait for Go Home Specialists to proc, it involves basically the 35 plus race strat, probably like 36, 37, depending on what you decide to do. There are some turns in Trailblazer in which you can choose not to race, especially if you want to train. I personally sometimes use them for bonds, because there are early races that I sometimes skip out on. Probably shouldn't, but it's more a trainer call, and that's where the trainer expression can exist. I think around here is our Go Home Specialist proc, so we'll keep an eye on that. But again, for Trailblazer, I am using a lot of races to basically buy a lot of stat items. That's not how some trainers are training, but I picked the method that fits well for me. I've used the other method. It's worked once for one of my team trial Musume, but aside from that, I find the many race strat to be more comfortable for me to employ during my Trailblazer runs, which involves Team Sirius and Rico. I think I'm even borrowing Rico because I end up using my own free SSRs aside from Kid Sun Black and Pico Pegasus, which are obviously not as free-to-play friendly because I just got lucky with my Pico Pegasus, but as my gold chip and other gold chips and other Musume proc their rare recovery skills, let's see who pulls out in front here as we approach the late half of the race. So, there's the Professor Curvature from the Tamamo Cross. That'll carry her until the final leg when she's going to proc White Lightning. And if she does, I expect her to shoot forward unless she didn't proc her Stamina Recovery or she got rushed, because you can't see rushed on other rival Musume. As for my gold chip, though, we need to see straightaway proc. Simply Rudolph wants to head on, and Biwa definitely wants to hit Ignited Spirit Power because she has no other acceleration. So here's the great straightaway proc right into someone's back, but unless she gets blocked for too long. Hey, also Rushing Gale, so that's going to help immensely as well. So Rushing Gale straightaway spurt at good opportune moments, but whether or not we can catch up is another completely different story, because again, I don't know if the other Musume proc their white acceleration skills. Ignited Spirit Power happening way too late, so let's see what happens as we approach the final spurt here. We need to see all the velocity skills proc right now. Best in Japan, a little early, but will provide some use. Professor Kircher right at the end, Russian Gale right at the end as the final spurt starts. White Lightning is a bit too late for that Tamamo Cross. We're dueling with someone, dueling with a front runner as an end closer. She should be able to pull ahead unless someone catches up right at the end here. And yeah, that Russian Gale helped immensely, by the way. That was a lot of acceleration. But anywho, as we get our one win for the day. Again, I'll be doing my other entries later on, but for today, if I can get a second win, that's what I'm guessing on. If you're betting against me and seeing if I get 4 losses, then, I mean, salute in real life. You can't see because I don't have a cam for this setup, but yeah, in fact, I don't have a cam at all, so even if I wanted to show a visual, oops. But anyway, as we see, 3 gold chips finally in one race. I think we saw them in a previous race, but I wasn't keeping track, because obviously I'm commentating and just blabbering on by myself. That's stamina, oof. Oh, that's stamina. Let's see here, 1 gold recovery, yeah, that can win. Let's see, 1,000, yep, 2 gold recoveries though, so hey, 500, 1,100, 2 gold recoveries, 2 gold recoveries. Little low, because the rare raw stamina is really what you want. This is a debuff. Nice nature and track blazer, and off we go. Not really much else to say. Oh, my neck! Also, I was supposed to do a thing, but I didn't, so hey. But yes, now that we have finally 3 gold chips in a race and 2 Valentine's Bourbons, no Kitasan Black, but I expect to see more later on. If I don't, I mean, to be fair, a lot of people use their Kitasan Black support, are using Kitasan Black support cards, even if you are spending a few hundred US dollars on Musume, from what I know. Yeah, some people have their 3 uncapped Kitasan Black, and it's very, very sad to see. I went all in, though, by the way, so I knew that the 2... I think I spent my 60,000 carats. If I don't remember correctly, just correct me later on. But as I sit here, hopefully Biwa's stuck to 4th, because at least that gives her a chance to win the race. As we transition to what's happening in the race here, and we approach the go-home specialist point, and my Biwa now does get robbed, because yes, me using my own pace, Simply Rudolph, as we do not get our go-home specialist, actually also makes me sad. So it's all on Simply Rudolph at this point. I don't know. And Simply Rudolph must now proc her both gold recoveries. I mean, we could always get our downhill XL, our very long downhill XL, but as we proc our Russian Gale way too early in the race, and don't get anything else, yeah, this does not look good for me. The odds are looking very bad. So, again, it's all on Simply Rudolph. Pace Chaser straightaway is happening way too early. Again, at this point, I'm hoping that we get another velocity skill as Simply Rudolph as we enter the final leg, and then we immediately proc head on. Yeah, everything is happening way too early. So, this is looking very, 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 very bad for me in a race where we are not getting enough. Now, 3 white recoveries as gold chip might be okay, but I promise you it's not. If the apparent distance, if it's not just RNG from gold chip deciding that she wants to be this far back, isn't hurting me, it's the stamina. It's the stamina. So, without further ado, just looking at, keeping an eye on Simply Rudolph here, we need to proc our any other remaining velocity perks, because I don't remember if Simply Rudolph has any other velocity skills. Otherwise, head-on needs to happen now, otherwise we just get absolutely blown out of 1st, 2nd, 3rd, probably even 4th and 5th. So without further ado, yep, nothing happens, nothing gained. Lose. So, no go-home specialist. Biwa did not proc any recoveries. I don't think Simply Rudolph procced any recoveries either, so this is an absolute blowout against me. So, without further ado, yep, not really much else to see here for me, but as for watching everyone else, this is another front runner versus end closer here. So let's see. I mean, there are really only end closers, and there's a Christmas Ogre Cap, but at this point, if Ogre Cap isn't that far forward, it's going to be an end closer here. So I wasn't keeping an eye on the front runner, so I didn't know if they were actually tied up ahead, but no, it's a gold chip run. So didn't proc our stamina skills, 6th, 7th, and 9th. So without further ado, not really much else to mention here. Just for no other reason than no gold recovery, only 1 or 2 white recovery skills, and to note, again, if you don't know anything at all, 1200 stamina, 700 guts, if you don't proc any recovery skills, lose. That's the moral for this video. But yeah, without further ado, I'll be doing my other things later. Now, am I going to get into the finals? I would bet so. the days are not over yet. I have another day afterwards, so shrug, right? But without further ado, not really much else to mention here. We should already be at the end screen already, and yeah, not really much else to mention. So without further ado, if you have anything to say, you know what to do. If you want to support me, you know what to do. Otherwise, do what you can do. I'm not going to take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Wave your hands, much ton, and let's go. Bye!